Hello. Today we are going to be learning about how you can make passive income through e commerce automation. But before we get started, please allow me to introduce myself. My name is Angela Harders. I am a best selling author of over 15 books for children and adults. I'm also a teacher. My latest book is called Tales of a Toxic Teacher about my experiences as a public school teacher and how I was finally able to leave such a toxic environment in order to create something new for myself and my kids. Which brings me to the most important aspect of who I am. I am a mother, but not just any kind of mom. I am a single, homeschooling mom to two children, Sophia and Benjamin. As a single mom living in the suburbs of Washington, D.C., I wondered and hoped if I would ever be able to have what so many people long for: financial freedom and time freedom. I wanted more than anything to be able to be at home with my children without feeling the stress of needing to work in order to provide for them. So I started thinking, how can I make my money work for me? So rather than trade my hours for dollars like so many of us do, I knew that there must be a better way, and I was determined to find it. So this is my story, and I would like to call this chapter From Food Banks to Financial Freedom by yours truly. This portion of my story begins in September 2021 when I lost my job like thousands of people did in the wake of the COVID crisis. By November, I started to freak out a little bit. The holidays were right around the corner, and I was burning through my savings faster than I had anticipated. I knew that I needed to figure out a way to have my money start working for me before all my savings was gone. So I decided to reach out to a teacher friend of mine and ask for her help. I had seen on her Facebook page that she had been able to leave teaching after the birth of her second child because she was making so much passive income on Amazon that she didn't have to go back to work anymore. So, of course, I had to ask her, how did you do it? And that was when she told me that she was able to completely leave teaching because she was making so much passive income through Amazon automation. Now, I had heard about Amazon FBA and selling things on Amazon, and I'm probably sure that you have seen some of those ads on social media too. Check out this free master class. Download this free Amazon FBA ebook. And the truth was, I just didn't want to. I didn't want to do any of that. I didn't want to take a class. I didn't want to read another ebook. I didn't want to learn how to create product listings. I didn't want to figure out how to buy products from China to sell. And I definitely did not want to give myself any more work. Now, could I do these things? Sure. I could do all of these things. I have a master's degree and I consider myself to be fairly intelligent, but the truth was, I just didn't want to do any of those things. Do you remember what I wanted more than anything? Financial freedom and time freedom. I wanted to make more money while doing less work. And this is what we call passive income, when you can earn money even while you sleep with little to no effort. So I asked my friend, tell me more. The first thing I asked her was, what is Amazon automation? And she explained to me that automation is when people use systems or software in order to automate different processes in their businesses in order to maximize efficiency. I was still a bit confused, so I asked her if she could break it down even more for me. So basically, my friend invested money with a management company that specializes in running e commerce stores. An e commerce store is simply a fancy way of talking about selling things online. Anytime that you buy something online or through an app on your phone, you are buying from an e commerce store. So the management company took the money that she invested in order to hire a team of trained employees that would run every single aspect of her e commerce store for her. They find the products that are trending and the ones that have the highest profit margins. They create all of the listings for her on Amazon. When a customer orders a product, they find the cheapest place to order that product and then ship it directly to the customer. So there's no need to buy products in advance, no need to keep track of an inventory, and no need to pay extra money for storage. If anything goes wrong or if a customer has any questions, they provide all of the customer support needed, including managing returns. And they even file monthly sales tax on her behalf. So I asked her, all right, your management company is doing all of the work for you, but what do you actually do? How exactly do you make money? She responded by saying, let me give you an example. Okay, let's say that my management company uses their software to determine the best products to sell, and they find this bag of dog food. First, they will create a listing on Amazon for a bag of dog food for $100. Then, someone goes on Amazon and purchases that bag of dog food for $100. The management company will then use my credit card to buy that same bag of dog food somewhere else for $80. Then, in 2 weeks, Amazon will deposit the $100 directly into my bank account. After Amazon deposits the money into my bank account, then I will use that money to pay off the $80 charge that was charged to my credit card, leaving me with a $20 profit. So basically, someone buys the dog food on Amazon for $100. My management team will buy the dog food somewhere else for $80, leaving me with that $20 profit. And of those $20 at the end of the month, the management company will send me an invoice for 35% of the profits, or $7. The remaining 65% of the profit is all mine to keep. So out of a $100 product, my take home profit will be about $13. A good estimate will be that my take home profit will be about 10 to 15% of the total sales. So my only job is to manage cash flow each month. The management team does all the rest. I knew that her store had just opened 4 months earlier, so I asked her, what was your take home profit this month? $5,000, she said. So in her 4th month alone, she profited almost as much as I was making as a teacher. But I still wasn't convinced at this point. I decided to wait and watch her over the next few months. In December, she made $8,000 profit. And then in January, she had her first 5-figure month. She made $11,500 profit, way more than what I ever hoped to have made as a teacher. And it was all passive income. Someone else was doing the work and she was reaping the benefits. She had told me that it takes several months for your store to get up and running, so I knew that I needed to invest soon. I didn't want to wait anymore because I needed to have some sort of income before the summertime when teachers usually don't get paid. So in February, I started investing myself. And in March, my Amazon store officially opened and I had my very first sale. And I would love to tell you the story about that very first sale. We actually got our very first sale while we were driving from our home in DC to visit my dad, who had recently been placed into a memory care facility in Georgia. I had no idea that he would pass away in less than 2 weeks. On the way there, my minivan broke down on the highway in the middle of nowhere. So while we were waiting for the tow truck to pick us up, I started to worry about how on earth I was going to pay for all of this, because just the repairs alone were going to cost me several $100s. That was definitely not in the budget. When all of a sudden, I heard cha-cling on my phone. I looked down at my phone and saw that we had our very first sale. Ironically enough, it was for a bag of cat food. Here's a picture of us riding in the tow truck with my best friend and my kids, and instead of being frustrated and upset about our current situation, we all have huge smiles on our faces because as we were riding along, we continued to hear cha-cling, cha-cling. It was as if God was telling me, don't worry about money. I will always provide for you. I made a little over $100 in sales for my first 3 days. As I continued to watch my friend's Facebook account, I saw that her parents had just opened their first Amazon store too. They made over $2,000 in sales in their first week. I was blown away. I prayed and asked God, if you are in this, if you will bless this investment, please let me make 2,000 in my first week too. My week was almost half done, and I'd only made $378 in sales in the first 3 days. So I honestly didn't think it would be possible. But I want to show you a screenshot from my store just 2 days later. On day 5, I made almost $2,000 in sales just in that one day. I cried like a lot. So many tears of joy. And then 5 days later, I finally passed the $2,000 mark by getting over $2,100 in sales in just one day. Almost 9,000 in sales in 1 week. I decided to make some videos in order to document my progress with my store, and in April, one of my videos went viral. In fact, you might be here watching this video now because of that video that I made back then. After that video, I had hundreds of people reaching out to me asking how they could make passive income on Amazon too. And now, in just over 2 months since my store has opened, I have over $44,000 in sales. Here's a screenshot from my Amazon seller account. Now, I am at the very beginning of my journey, so if you would like to continue to follow me along as I document how a normal single mom like me could go from food banks to financial freedom, please click that subscribe button so that you can get updates on me, my store, and my journey. As I said, I've had hundreds of people reaching out to me in the last few weeks, so I thought that it would be helpful to make this video to help save some time in explaining everything and answering some of the common questions that I've been getting. So, the first question that I usually get asked is, what do I need to start? Maybe you're thinking, sure, Angela, everything that you're saying sounds great. In fact, it might even sound too good to be true. I promise you, it really is as great as it sounds. However, there are two key things that you need in order to get started, and I'm going to share them both with you right now. First of all, you need an LLC. If you have one already, that is great. And if not, don't worry, it takes about 5 to 10 minutes to create one. Simply go to your favorite search engine and search for the name of your state and the words register a business. You want to make sure that you scroll past the first few results, which are usually paid ads and are not the site that you were looking for. Instead, you want to look for the website that ends in .gov. That is your government's website. There, you'll find an online portal that will walk you through the steps of registering your LLC online. I'm working now on putting together a document that will hyperlink all of those websites for you for all 50 states. So feel free to check back in the description if it's not there already. So that way you can find the direct link to your state's website where you can create your own LLC. The second thing that you need is the initial investment. The initial investment is the money that you will invest that will cover the cost of the automation software, as well as the salary for your management team while your store is starting to get up and running, which can take up to 6 months. The initial investment for an Amazon store is $35,000. A Walmart store is $30,000. A Facebook store is $25,000. Right now, the management company that I invested with is offering a bundle where you can get both an Amazon store and a Facebook store for just $50K. When I started investing with them, the bundle was not available. If I could do it all over again, I wish that I would have done that so that I could have had two separate streams of income coming in. But if I had to choose just one, I would definitely recommend the Amazon store since that is where you'll probably be making the most money, since that's where most people shop online. Please note that these prices are subject to change. There are companies out there that offer initial investments that are lower than this amount, and there are companies out there that offer initial investments for much, much higher than this amount. I chose to go with a company that I felt best aligned with my beliefs and values regarding integrity and transparency in business. And I also really like the fact that this company that I invested with was able to provide me with many other services, such as taxes, that the other companies did not provide. Keep in mind that I am simply sharing my own personal experience. I am not a representative of any company. I am not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice. As with anything, do your own research and make a decision when you feel peace about whatever that decision is. Next question. Where do I get the money for the initial investment? You have two different options when it comes to how you can get the money required for the initial investment. The first option is to self finance. If you happen to have 35,000 cash available to invest, then this might be a great option for you. However, if you are like most people on the planet, you probably don't have 35,000 lying around. So then you might want to look into option 2. Third party financing. With third party financing, you are borrowing someone else's money to be able to make money for yourself. I know of several people that have the cash available but are still choosing to go this route because they are able to deduct the loan as a business expense, use the loan to boost their credit, or because they simply want to keep their own cash on hand. When looking into third party financing, there are two things that you will want to consider. First of all, you must have a credit score of 680 or higher. And second, if you do have a good credit score, then you will want to apply online via the link below in the description. Please let them know that Angela Harder's referred you. Another question that I often get is, when will I get a full return on my investment or a full ROI? Basically, when will I earn back that 35,000? Almost every single person will make back that initial investment within the first 8 to 15 months. In fact, I actually asked my friend about this the other day because she is almost about to finish her first year since she started investing with her store back in July. And I asked her if she was able to make back that full 35,000 already since it's been a year. And she said, actually, yes. She finally made back that full 35,000 and it took her 10 months to do so. It's important to keep in mind that when your store is first starting, it will take time for your store to grow to the point that you're making 5 figures a month. You should plan to wait about 6 months for your store to really scale. Another question that I get asked is, how much money can I make? Of course, there are no guarantees, but on average, you should be able to earn thousands of dollars of passive income each month. The amount of income that you are able to make is dependent on several different factors, but the main factor is access to your credit and your credit limit. If you have a credit limit of 25,000, then your team can only purchase $25,000 worth of product. However, if you have a credit limit of 100,000, then your team can purchase $100,000 worth of product. So the higher your credit limit, the more money you can make. In addition to earning thousands of dollars in passive income through your store, you can also earn money through referrals. I will say this is not an MLM. I do not get paid any sort of commissions based on the performance of your store. Your store is entirely yours, and my store is entirely mine. You can totally just enjoy the profit from your store and never tell anyone else what you're doing, and that is totally fine. However, if you're like me, you will want to share this incredible opportunity with the people in your life. And as you do, you will find that your friends and family, and even some strangers on the internet, will be interested in having this same opportunity that you do to have true financial freedom. So, as a way to say thank you, the company does give a $1,500 referral bonus for each person that you refer. This can be another great way to supplement your income. The next question, what credit card should I use? When I first started, all I had was about 25,000 in personal credit cards spread out over 3 different cards. Because I wanted to be able to make the most money possible, I used all of my personal credit cards. But after about 1 month of my store being opened, I realized that I wanted to have a credit card specifically assigned to my store so I could keep the Amazon purchases separate from my personal purchases. So I decided to get a business credit card, and I am so glad that I did. I'll put a link in the description for the credit card that I got, but right now they're offering a promotion where if you spend $7,500 in the first 3 months, they will give you $750 cash back. My store spent over $7,500 in the first 3 weeks of getting my card. So that extra 750 cash back bonus is a really nice extra profit for me. And last but not least, you need to have a minimum credit limit of 25,000. As I said before, the higher your credit limit, the more money that you can make. Okay, so next question. Is drop shipping legal? This was something that I was actually really concerned about. I had seen some videos on YouTube where people said that you aren't allowed to do drop shipping on Amazon. And frankly, that is just not true. Drop shipping is legal and it is also allowed on Amazon. However, you need to be mindful to do drop shipping in a way that complies with Amazon's terms and service agreements. I'll include a link below to Amazon's dropshipping policy. I would recommend that you read it fully for yourself so that you can understand what exactly Amazon's policy is. And last but not least, this is probably the most important question: how can I get started? If you have made it this far and you are thinking that you would like to find a way to make passive income on Amazon just like I did, or if you are looking for a way to have financial freedom and time freedom, or if you are ready to start having your money working for you, then click on the link below in the description of this video and book a call with me. I am so excited to help you reach your financial goals so that you will be free to reach your life goals. And if you enjoyed this video and would like to continue watching me as I go from food banks to financial freedom, please subscribe to my channel and be sure to also hit that bell so that you'll be the first to get notified as I release new videos. I am so excited to see the amazing things that we will create together as we step out in faith and start creating passive income for ourselves and for generations to come.